Hello, fellow beverage lovers. Sam Calagione, brewer and founder of Dogfish here in our HQ in Milton, Delaware. So as a lot of you guys know, it's our 30th anniversary. We're super proud to get to this amazing milestone. My wife Mariah and I started Dogfish with a dozen people 30 years ago. We had the dubious distinction of being the smallest commercial brewery in America when we opened, with a focus on culinary infused beers and a kind of holy trinity of original beer, original food, original music. So we want to do something really special for our actual anniversary day, which is June 23rd of this year. So we reached out to one of our favorite brands in the world that has a lot of shared interests with us, with Howler Bros, and we're going to be releasing a co-branded line of special wearables together on the actual birthday. And as a special treat, today I get to have a discussion with two of the leaders of Howler Brothers. Gents, please introduce yourselves.
Hello, everybody. I'm Andy Stepanian, one of the founders of Howler Brothers, and we're super honored that you chose us for your 30-year anniversary. I don't think we're quite as deserving as maybe you think we are, but we accept that. Yeah, Rick, take it away, buddy.
Hey, I'm Rick Whitbricker here in Austin, enjoying a nice Dogfish head, and I am been here now as a part of Howler Brothers for over 11 years, and used to run marketing, and now I'm overseeing our business development and other funky, weird projects. But like Andy said, we're so pumped and flattered to be included with you guys, and I love your hat today, Sam. You're on point.
Let's go deep on music right out of the gates.
Yeah, so really, our involvement with music is really predates Howler Brothers, and a lot of our origin story is really wrapped around music. Chase Hurd, who is my partner, my co-founder, the two of us were in a band together, kind of as we came during our Virginia years, and as we came out of Virginia, called Wrinkle Neck Mules, which was, had its moment in the sun on the East Coast, kind of between Virginia and down to Atlanta in the Southeast. We had some, our song in a Geico commercial. So that's how a lot of people tend to find us. But yeah, so we were in this band, and at the time, another clothing business had found out that Chase, my partner, was a big graphic designer and artist, and they asked him to design some T-shirts for him. To make a long story short, we ultimately ended up deciding to make them on our own, and that sort of spun out of control into the idea that became Howler Brothers. I'm abbreviating the story a bunch, but so we were in a band first, and we always like to joke about the fact that the years and years that we spent humping the roads in a van together is the reason why we're still able to be in business together today, because we went through like the shittiest conditions that you can, and then still emerged as friends and still wanting to do something else creatively collaborative with each other. And so ultimately kind of the dominoes fell from there. There's a guy named Mason Brent who came on board, who was also in Wrinkle Neck Mules. Mason and I actually have another musical project now called Leon the Third that tours around quite a bit. But the bottom line is that music is like a central vein to Howler Brothers, and how we view the brand and how we get inspired to do something else. And we really like, bringing the element of music that we think is kind of like part of the Howler Brothers experience. We like bringing that to people, and we do that through various ways, some live sessions, a lot of playlisting and things like that, and always are hopeful that people find something that they wouldn't necessarily find every day.
That's cool. We got a mutual friend in the music world. I got to shoot a short film that we scripted together, myself and Will Oldham, who records as Bonnie Prince Billy, who's one of our favorite artists. He's played at Dogfish 5 or 6 years. We did a vinyl record together with him. Tell us your interactions with Will.
Yeah, so it goes all the way back to the Wrinkle Neck Mules days. So Will's first cousin, a guy named Cody Taffel, who went to Virginia with us, he lives down in Richmond now. But Wrinkle Neck Mules, we were about to do our second album. This is, 2005 or so. And I had a song. I was like a diehard Will Oldham fan. Going back to, someone gave me Viva Last Blues by Palace, and I was just like, whoa, okay, so this is a different thing than, and I've been, I would say, pretty devoted as a fan ever since then. But I asked Cody, I was like, do you think Will would possibly come and sing on my song? And thinking that it was like, the biggest no way that's going to happen thing. And sure enough, Will reached back out and said, yes, I will sing on your song. And if I do, I would like to be credited as Bonnie Prince Billy. And I was like, okay, cool. So we ended up meeting up in Charlottesville and spending a really hilarious couple days there, finishing the song. And then since then, I've managed to stay in touch with them, really because I've worked very regularly with a guy named Mark Nevers, who produced, if you know, the Bonnie Sings Greatest Palace music.
Yes. With all the Nashville, that had all the Nashville session musicians.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He produced Lie Down in the Light and Mastering Everyone, and a bunch of the Silver Jews. I don't know if you like Silver Jews. Oh my God,
rest in peace.
Yeah, and so I have ended up working with Mark on this Leon the Third project that I have. He's produced every album that we've done, just because I really like the way he works, and he's almost become a part of the band now. But he's a guy that Will's really friendly with.
So cool. Yeah, awesome. I got to check out Leon the Third. So you guys, Leon the Third's on. We can find you on Spotify. Those of us that are on streaming services.
Exactly. It's like Leon I. Like as if it's
nice.
Something regal.
Nice. Rick, maybe talk about bringing the Howler brothers team love of music to life, whether it's ACL or the way that you bring it to life through storytelling and events.
Yeah, well, so so we're all clear, and I qualify myself, I have no musical talent, have never played in a band. I'm the total outlier of the group in that regard. But it's all, I always loved it because even as a newcomer 11 years ago, it was this thing that was always there and not mandatory, but present in a very positive, additive way. And so we were always trying to figure out ways to weave it in, because anybody can come up with a playlist and that's fine. And anybody can look to, have somebody come play at their store or their office, and that's cool too. But I think, have been able to, number one, we've benefited from the guys being musicians and having bands. And so other bands respect that, and other bands, we're able to draw bands that other people couldn't draw. And I think also at times we maybe just get it as a favor and not as a paid gig. And then I think the other thing is that the guys other bands are more excited to play at our place because we have that background. And so, we've always sought ways to include it into the story or what we're doing. We've always loved having people, especially bands we know, contribute for songs for videos or things like that. We've had a lot of custom songs developed by musician friends, which is another cool little Easter egg to find. Kai Welch has made custom songs for us. He's one of our Howler ambassadors and sort of a man of 1,000 instruments. And then Hunter Perrin has made a custom song for us, and we've had other friends do it. And it's just a really cool other layers. And we always love those Easter egg hidden added layers. And then we've been really fortunate here in Austin to partner with Austin City Limits Festival, ACL Fest, for, I think this is our 9th year doing it. It would be 10th, but there was a missed COVID year in 2020. So that's a really long-standing friendship and partnership that's been awesome and a hell of a lot of fun. And then, we even went a step further and have partnered twice with Austin City Limits, the long running live music TV show. It was really cool. We got to recreate the shirt that Willie wore on the pilot episode back in 1974.
Of the
And
ACL, the first ACL
of
episode.
the very first, the very first
taping,
episode of the first taping. And so, you know, Austin icon, music icon, show icon, and we got to go. They gave us, it was really cool. They gave us full access to the archives, and we got to go dig through everything. And then we landed on this and said, well, this looks like something we would make anyways. So we kind of made our own little tweaks to it, but it couldn't have been any more fun. And then we got to go shoot it on the sound stage and where they do the tapings. And it's just like a super treat.
Fast forward to the next one. The next, because then you got into it.
Well, then, so we did another one. We did another version, I guess that was like April of 2024. And so we did a different version, sort of different colorway of the same design, but different colorway. And then
for their 50th anniversary, right?
Yes, that's right. So for the show's 50th, and then they then had like this sort of 50th mega concert.
Yeah.
And Willie came back to play that show, and he's wearing the shirt on stage.
Oh,
yeah.
Cathartic.
So it was
cathartic.
like this full circle, like, oh my God, all is right. And it was just really cool and really fun, and like an awesome high five moment for the team.
And he's like the patriarch of the Austin music scene. I was there doing an event with my buddy Tim League, who owns Alamo Draft Houses, or used to.
Oh yeah.
I bet he's a mutual friend of your guys. And I was there the day they unveiled the Willie statue downtown, and everyone was just passing joints around downtown. I was in heaven for that.
Very appropriate.
I was in heaven for that day, you know?
Yeah. That's so cool.
And you mentioned, the coming up in the ethos of indie music and how much, that informed your guys' journey. And for me, I grew up in rural Western Massachusetts out by the Vermont border. And we had all these awesome left of the dial stations that were from high schools and colleges, UMass, Smith, Amherst College. So as a kid living in this little rural town, I could find African Bambaataa and the Smiths and Bad Brains, and I was like, holy shit, there's this whole other universe of music out here that I don't know much about. And that kind of started me on a journey of falling in love with hip hop and punk rock. And really that was the business plan of Dogfish, the whole get in the van, do it. We made our own, I designed my own logo, my own font. We made our own, gig posters for beer dinners, slept on the couches of other brewers in other cities, and kind of looked at like Sonic Youth or the Minutemen or the Beastie Boys as our business, inspiration more than true business leaders. And it seems like that's a similar path that you guys have taken.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that it was actually one of the questions I was going to ask you, that popped into my head to ask you is like, because people ask us all the time, like, what is Howler Brothers and in that spirit of sort of the punk rock spirit, or just, it's like, we literally are just doing whatever we think is cool and what we think is fun and feels right at a given time. And not always does that fit into like a perfect little box. Like we were doing something with Toyota, and then we did something with like our local dive bar in Austin, Don's Depot, a year and a half ago or something like those. And those things are kind of on their face, polar opposites.
Right.
But it's very much part of us and inspires us. And so like, we're like, okay, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And that was what I was going to ask you. It was like, I'm sure, because you strike me very much as the same way. It's like, you probably have all these collaborative ideas, and you're like a full-time dreamer also. And it's always like whatever the next deal is that you get to do. And like, how do you, after 30 years, like, what's your process? And like, how do you say, yes or no, and what, or is it just literally like your gut, like this one's cool, I'm doing it?
Yeah, well, that's an awesome question. Like one of our, we say that we believe a lot more in the good karma that comes with focusing on collaboration instead of the negative energy that comes with focusing on competition. And both of our brands operate in extremely competitive environments, and that's a reality of what we have to do every day is consider that. But for us, it's like one of our, we say never let the dog let the tail of money wag the dog of inspiration.
Yeah, there you go.
When we consider like a partnership, a collaboration, a new creative idea, the only like conscious filter we kind of try to put it through is some equilibrium about trying to do collaborations sometimes with brands or creative entities that are bigger than ours, and then the kismet of then doing that something with someone that's smaller than us, like you just mentioned with the dive bar versus Toyota. So there's a tiny mom and pop, they started with a press for t-shirts, maybe how you guys did in their garage, called 302 Cam Designs, and they had 302 is our whole state's prefix for phones. We're such a small state, we only have one prefix, but they have this really cool like horseshoe design for shirts and hats. And on 302 Day, which is March 2nd of every year, we host their brand on our Dogfish campus. They sell all their seconds, the t-shirts and stuff that didn't sell through their normal year, and then they release a small line of Dogfish and 302 branded stuff. And for 3 years in a row, it's been their single biggest revenue day. And so I look forward to that day, as much as, we're doing a collaboration with the Grateful Dead coast to coast right now, obviously a much bigger, iconic artistic world than ours. So other than that, consciously want to learning both from companies and brands and artists that are smaller than us, but then also learning from entities that are bigger than us. That's the only real filter that we put it through. And Rick, I imagine your email box gets overloaded with opportunities to consider. What are both of your filters?
Yeah, you're 100% correct. It is overflowing with things. I mean, I think and I would say, especially at my interaction with Andy and Chase is a lot over the years. It's gotten a lot more refined, and we understand each other a lot of like what is a cool, like what is worth even bringing up to the crew, and what is like, hey, thanks but no thanks. And I think we're kind of like you were saying is we don't have like, there's no formula, there's no metric. It's really mostly on gut and how excited you get. Like, do you lean up in the chair when we're talking about it? And those are the ones where everybody, it's not a yeah, okay, it's a hell yes. And so those are the things where I think we get so fired up. I like act like a little kid, and I get so fired up to present this new one, and to the guys, and they're like, "Oh my god, hell yes, let's do it!" And so like those are freaking awesome. And so we don't have a formula for it, but I think it is absolutely. It's just like if you think about it like a party or a dinner party, like who do you want at the dinner party? I want all these awesome, interesting, cool, funny, fun people that are going to make it better. And so the party then becomes greater than some of the parts, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And we have two questions that we like have to be boxes that we have to check, which is like, are we connected to it, and do we love it?
Yeah.
And like for you mentioned our collaboration with UV, like for University of Virginia.
Yeah.
Well, Chase and I both went there, right? So on its face, us doing a collegiate collaboration some people might be like, why would they do that? Well, because I love it and I'm connected to it.
Yeah.
We did a collaboration with University of Texas because it's right in our backyard. We're very connected to it.
Yeah.
No disrespect, but if like the University of Delaware came and asked us, we'd probably be like,
what's the connection?
It's cool. We can do a lot with those primary yellow and blue for Delaware, but like we don't feel like that connection to University of Delaware, and we could probably go blow it up by doing collegiate collaborations all over the country.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily feel right to us, right?
Yeah.
So if we're connected to it and we love it, then we're typically doing that thing that Rick is saying, which is like, leaning up in the chair and be like, yeah. Hell yeah. Dogfish head. Okay.
Let's do it.
Connected. Love it. Let's do it.
Nice.
I'll, if I may, like, I'll just add on to what Andy just said. Not only did we say, okay, let's do these 2 schools because they mean something to us and we have a connection, but we said, okay, well, what's our original take on this? Every other licensed, company just takes the logo and smacks it on and like, okay, but we like that already exists.
Yeah.
So in both of those instances, we took a full clean slate, creative, input and ran a process on it and came out with like really cool shit. In fact, I was looking at one of the UVA shirts and I've never even been to Charlottesville, but I want to buy this shirt and it's so cool. And it's around like sort of secondary mascot and like, it's just freaking cool.
Yeah.
But it was fun to be able to do that in a cool original way that's not just like logo wear.
Yeah. And when you talked about making sure you could put your unique, Howler Brothers thumbprint on any of these projects, whether they're, internal or with an external partner, that's like, I've been like, there's definitely some component of the other entity needs to be equally invested regardless of the scale of their resources or compared to your company. And I'll share one for us, which is I'm as big a fan of Pearl Jam as I am of Flaming Lips, and we got to do collaborations with both of them, and it was for the 10th anniversary of Pearl Jam's first album. And they were all in to start with, but I'm sure for great reasons, as they're about to go out on tour for their 10th anniversary thing, they got a little disengaged with the creative process of the beer we were going to make together. And I contrast that to doing a beer with the Flaming Lips, where Wayne Coyne was writing songs that the lyrics for an EP that was all around the collaboration, that the lyrics were shout outs to the ingredients in the beer, and they were all in, and we got to go out and hang out with them in Oklahoma, and the Flaming Lips collaboration sold a lot better and did better, even though the scale of their band might not be as big as Pearl Jam. But I do think part of it is just how involved both entities were, and there was just great energy there. It's not throwing any shade on Pearl Jam, but we now kind of say how we gauge how involved the entity is to what we're going to try and do together as part of deciding if we're going to go forward with it.
Yeah, that's great. That's good counsel. I need to write that down.
Well, you guys do a lot of, not only your own singularly branded stuff, but you find really cool partners to do really cool projects with. For example, Andy, I know you and Chase went to UVA together, and you've even done like a limited edition capsule with them. We'll get in the ACL work you guys have done in a minute, but you guys are right now in the throes of what I believe might be your most robust collaboration ever with a certain iconic off-road vehicle. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we can. It's one of those things where I'm sure, Sam, you can relate. Like oftentimes when we started this whole thing, we never really knew what we were getting into, but then sometimes you kind of pinch yourself like, whoa, I can't believe we're like collaborating with this person or that person, or like this idea that we thought was completely harebrained is actually working.
It's actually working.
Yeah, so we have I think it'll be out around the 10th of June, a collaboration with Toyota that is based around the new Land Cruiser, and we're kind of suckers for old Land Cruisers, and our brand is sort of built around the culture of surfing and sort of the pioneer spirit of like the early days in Central America around surfing, and so there's these old Land Cruisers that we used to see down there all the time that we were always just like, oh, wouldn't it be just badass if we could do something with them, and lo and behold, Rick managed to intertwine himself and make it happen with Toyota around the launch of their new Land Cruiser.
Rick, what are some of the components of the collaboration, whether it's wearables or just programming, that you're particularly excited about?
Yeah, Well, what was maybe one of the coolest parts of this is they said, okay, like here's our limits, our parameters, but within that, as long as you guys are playing by the rules, we're open to whatever y'all want to do. And so it was a really fun, that's the kind of thing that we love to do. And so it was a really cool opportunity for us to go and ideate, take inspiration and then go come up with, okay, what would that look like? And sort of simultaneously product and story, and then be able to, bring all that to life. So we have this cool collection of clothes that we've designed and developed, and some really fun, funky accessories, some stuff that we've never done before, which is always fun for us. And then we got to come up with this, storyboard, this video, and we got to go do the video. Half of it was shot down in Costa Rica in the jungle with this really beautiful, incredible old FJ55 vintage but stunner vehicle. And then also it kind of time warps you to modern day with our new custom tricked out version that we worked to design with Toyota.
And that's
so
right. And like part of it was shot over there and part domestically, the second,
yes,
the new model.
Yeah, that's right. And so like sort of the pre, in the story, as the story goes, the pre-time warp is down there, and then after the time warp is here. But man, I mean, what a cool opportunity to get to work with a partner like that, and not only that, but to have the sort of creative free reign and get to do and combine all these things that we already love. Like it was pretty dreamy.
All right, I got a lightning round for you guys.
Yes.
All right, some music questions.
Yes.
All right, so I know waves at surfing, fishing. This all plays into this. If you were stuck, each of you, and I know you guys are very community minded, so there's 4 components to your answers. If you were stuck on a deserted island in a tropical environment for a full year, you had to be, but if you make it a full year, you can give $10 million to any nonprofit entity that you want. Your island has a sweet, Macintosh full-on analog stereo system and turntable in there. The island comes with potable water you gather from rain and coconuts. If you're a good fisherman, you can catch fish too. But other than those things, for one full year, you have to live off of 1 alcoholic beverage. It can't be something from Dogfish, so you can't kiss my ass. You got to be honest about what alcoholic beverage it would be. It's got to be 1 condiment that's defined in this context by something you could find in a free packet on Google. 1 condiment. And you got to decide what your nonprofit's going to be that's going to get the $10 million, assuming you make it the 365 days. And lastly, for that full year, you have to live off the discography of 1 recording artist, but it can include anyone that they recorded with, not shared a stage with. They had to have done a studio song or album with that recording artist. This is the question I ask around the fireside pit at my hotel every Saturday night, and I learn so much when I ask it. So do you want? I'll go first to give you guys a second to build on it. I'm gonna go. Go Duke's mayonnaise. I'm gonna go. It'd be good on it if I catch fish, slather that on a grilled fish.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Duke's mayonnaise. I'm gonna go Sierra Nevada Celebration, because that's a beer that I cut my teeth on as I was thinking about starting Dogfish.
In the hot sun, you're gonna go Celebration.
Celebration.
Yeah,
Selly. My nonprofit, the Nature Conservancy, our company Dogfish has raised over $1 million for the local chapter of the Nature Conservancy. Shouts to my wife Mariah and our beer and benevolence team who led on that. My discography will be Prince, so I'll get Morris Day in the Time, Vanity 6.
Whoa.
It's going to be a funky island, guys. Funky island. Come visit. All right, who's up next?
That's awesome. Man, first off, I got to tell you, I'm going to let Andy go first, but first off, this questionnaire is amazing. And like where my head starts spiraling out over here is so good. Condiment and catalog.
Can I understand
Can
I understand the
the
parameters of the condiment thing again?
Yeah, condiment is defined as anything we can find on Google that's available in a free packet. That's how we're
So
going
it's
to
got to
define.
be like a squishy packet.
Yeah, a little plastic packet that you open and squeeze on something. So it
Okay.
can't
Yeah.
be some exotic 750 ml thing of a fancy chili sauce. It's got to be something we can find in a packet for free.
Okay. I will say that my condiment is going to be like Cholula.
Yes.
Yeah. So
You Texans, I expected nothing less. Go ahead.
a hot sauce. So it's condiment, charity.
Discography and alcoholic beverage.
Oh, okay. So the alcohol, I would get a clean burning 100% agave silver tequila. So Tapatio, Fortaleza, something along those lines.
What's the definition of clean burning? I've never heard
Just
that.
like one of these ones that doesn't have additives.
Oh, got it.
A bunch of additives in it. Yeah, just not to make me feel better.
Got it.
About my time out there. My charities, it's something top of mind. So I do some work with, and it relates to something we talked about earlier. I do work with WTJU, which is the University of Virginia's student-run radio station.
So cool.
And the reason I connected with them is that David Berman from Silver Jews was a student DJ there.
Wow.
And I helped them get an endowment going in his name.
Wow.
And I would give my money to them, and because I think community radio is super important, especially in the university setting, because people learn about stuff that they're not going to get on their normal radio station.
Awesome.
And my discography on its face might seem like a normal answer, but I think I would go Bob Marley.
Nice.
And
Well, it's a tropical island. You get Peter Tosh.
It would give me Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer, and all sort of the reggae connective. So Lee Scratch Perry I would get. But guess what else I'd get?
What?
Out of nowhere, you wouldn't know, is the Rolling Stones.
What did they record? What did they record?
Because, Peter Tosh. Hold on. How long does it go?
We're gonna let this chain be unchained. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then if I get the connectivity to Peter Tosh and then the Stones, so then I would have a little rock and roll to mix in when I need it.
Holy shit! And if the chain keeps going, then you get Bowie through Dancing in the Streets.
Then I basically get all of recorded music.
You get you can even get like Lenny Kravitz and Jagger had a I mean it just sort of proliferates.
I'll stop my chain after the Stones. It's
so good.
Chuck Berry. You get Chuck Berry. You get all kinds of shit on there.
So good.
That's a great one.
Rick, you're up.
Man. Well, again, I think this question is pretty remarkable, or this series of questions. I'm gonna say, my beverage is gonna depend on the sort of heritage of this island.
Okay.
And is it
a sugarcane island?
So that's it. So are we going rum?
Yeah.
Because it's sugarcane. Is it a former British colony and I'm going to pick gin, or is it like are we somewhere in my spiritual homeland off the coast of Mexico and I'm picking tequila?
When you said you learn a lot, you mean when a guy starts asking like this, he's kind of an asshole.
I love that he wants to be accurate, but this is your island, Rick. This is your dream.
So, all right. So here's where I'm going to go. I'm going to take a little theme. Andy went this direction. I'm going to zag over here. So I am going to say botanist gin, like a really good gin.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it down this like former British colony thing.
Yeah. And how you what's the preparation for it? Is it a gin and tonic? How are you having it? It could be anything.
Yeah, well, anything. And I love gin, but also, I mean, given what you described of this island, then I'm probably having gin and coconut juice every day.
Mm-hmm.
But
limitless coconut
maybe
juice.
there's some fruit hanging on the tree over here. And for my condiment, I am a massive lover of spicy. So I think I'm gonna go like probably sriracha.
Sriracha. Both of you stayed in the spicy space. I'm not surprised.
And I mean, a close second might be like a soy sauce, but I think I'm going to do sriracha.
Yeah.
And for my band, I'm going
Wait, do charity. Let's lead up to your band.
Okay, charity. I'm gonna give a nod to my friends, our ambassador Oliver White, who helped co-found a really cool organization, and it's called IndieFly, and they do this really cool work.
IndieFly, or how do you spell that?
IndieFly, IndieFly
Uh-huh.
.org, and they do this really cool work where they go find these places that are really cool, beautiful, wild places, and help the local people, whoever that is in that location, understand in a lot of these places they're like eating the fish in that location for sustenance, but helping them understand that it's a diminishing resource, and that if you preserve it and help protect it, you can turn it into a business that provides for the community. It's sustainable, it provides for the community, and then you can, like, people will come to pay a lot of money to come to these places. And they've done really cool projects in Guyana and in the South Pacific with bonefish, and now they're working on one on the Wind River Reservation out in the West, in Wyoming and stuff. And so it's super cool. They do really cool stuff with really cool indigenous peoples, and it's just an awesome thing. And we've done a couple projects with them, which is another reason why I know about them. But
and appropriate because it's fish related, right? You're on an
stuck
island.
On this island, like, I want to be mindful of all that, and not just my consumption.
Love it. All right.
Okay, so
we're not judging, but it's music time. We're not judging.
Yeah, that's right. The non-band member, right? I'm going with one of my favorite bands of all time, The Clash. Nice. And it's going to be, because one of the things I love about The Clash is it is like punk, but they pull a lot from reggae and stuff, and you have all these tendrils going out in 70s UK zone, and then I think you get going on the unedited
Big Audio Dynamite.
You got Big Audio Dynamite. You got these other things they've done. You've
got Mescaleros, right?
Mescaleros, Ranting Roger, like all these cool extensions of it. And so I think that's gonna keeps me happy today. Yeah. And so I know it'll keep me happy on this island.
Yeah, that's a great call, because that's gonna be. I wouldn't call I call the Police maybe punk adjacent, but a true punk band that has reggae, like true bona fides. It's The Clash, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love the Police too, but I don't want all the Sting catalog.
Nah.
So I don't want to have to mess with that. Yeah. I'd rather just stick right here.
You're on an island by yourself. There's no one to slow dance with.
You don't like his stuff with Shaggy? Sting and Shaggy?
I didn't know he did stuff with Shaggy.
Maybe that. I just don't want the slow stuff, and I can't do that.
Good call. Good call. Well, gents, I've taken you to the full hour, 60 minutes. And by the way, I didn't drink a 60-minute beer, but I did have 3 sequenches while we chatted.
Yes. Wow. I love the sequence.
I'm impressed.
It's a great beverage.
So you guys, I just want to thank you so much for the time, but also, to celebrate our 30th anniversary by releasing the co-branded clothing that we did together. It was a dream of mine. I love your brand. I've been following it for years, a fan of it for years. We're going to do a playlist together, get people out in the water, drinking and listening to great music and fishing. So I'm just excited for the work we're doing together, but you guys are an inspiration, and I want to say thanks.
Well, it's been an honor to be on here, and really and truly congratulations to you. I know you didn't bring us on here to blow smoke up your ass, but you should really, you led the way for brands like Howler Brothers by being such a pioneer and so independent thinking and doing what you do. So we're honored to be your guest, that's for sure.
Very sweet. Andy, Rick.
Likewise, I echo that. You deserve all the praise here, so congrats, Sam.
Thanks.
Is awesome.
Thanks, gents. I'll see you down the road.
Come see you in Delaware.
All right, later, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.